Hello, welcome to the Steedcraft training workshop. As you can see, we've got two workstations here set up to teach in a hands-on situation a couple of people who have not had any previous experience in melting precious metals to make their own items of jewellery. The technique we use is the lost wax casting, and we've got a full set of wax modelling kit as well as the casting kit. The process starts with the wax. You can either, if you're artistic, you can carve from a block of wax. A quicker way and a more structured way on a course is we inject some wax granules, some wax pellets into a proprietary mould to give us a guaranteed output for our casting. This mould is, as you can see or perhaps see, is for a chess set, and once we've put the granules into the gun, the wax has got hot to 65 degrees. We then inject it into the mould. When it's cooled, we can split the mould and out pops a chess piece. The knight is the one that we use, because it can be cut down, converted quite nicely into a charm. This one's been trimmed, and using the wax carving kit, the model has been welded onto this rubber sprue base. A hanging ring has been made and neatly welded to the top of the charm, and a vent, an escape for the air that's in the mould to come out of the mould as the molten metal pours in. When the waxing is complete, a stainless steel tube, a flask, is pushed over the top and sealed into the rubber, and then investment plaster is poured in, and before it sets we evacuate it to bring out any bubbles. Give it a good shaking as well, so that the whole of the surface of the model is covered with a smooth layer of the investment. When that's dry, we can put it into an ordinary halogen oven, and at 200 degrees the wax drains out and we're left with a hollow investment. But there is still traces, there's a layer of wax all over our mould. That's where the high temperature system starts. The first of the microfoundry furnaces is the burnout furnace, and our flask is put into the burnout furnace. That's then put into the microwave, and after half an hour the flask is up to temperature, it's red hot, the residues of the wax have been burnt off, and we then bring it out of the furnace using gloves, wearing goggles, and before we actually touch it we check the temperature to make sure that it is handleable, as we're first timers at this, and we put it on one side to stay hot while we get preparing the metal. The metal, in this case it would be 25 grams, and this is sterling silver, is weighed out, poured into the graphite A50 crucible, and that goes into the second furnace, the melting furnace. So there's the crucible with our silver in it. That goes into the melting furnace. Pop the lid on, put the top on, and into the microwave. Nothing special about the microwave, it's just a cheap 1000 watt family sized cooker, but at full power in 10 minutes we've got 25 grams of molten silver ready to pour. During that 10 minutes we've primed our vacuum table. We cast under vacuum assist at pouring time, make sure the valve's off, and we need some source of vacuum. This tank is evacuated bit noisy, but it's cheap and cheerful. We've used them for doing other jobs before. Car tyre compressor converted to a vacuum pump. We'll pump this down to half of 1 atmosphere, and when the metal is ready, we're first off, again wearing our gloves, specs with tongs, take the flask, seal it onto the vacuum table, open up the melting furnace, a stir of the silver, one hand on the vacuum, and simultaneously pour and suck. The silver, bronze, whatever, is sucked down into the cavity, fills it completely, and we give it 5 minutes to solidify. After 5 minutes, it's no longer dull red in ordinary light. It's just as a clue that it's cool enough for everything to solidify. We dunk it into a bowl of water, large bowl, basin of water, bucket of water, give it a good swirl round, and the investment, the chemistry is clever enough for the investment, which is at the moment very hard, to erupt back into a mush which strips it from the flask and from the model. And so what drops out into the bottom of the bowl is our little metal charm attached to a fairly substantial sprue. This is formed in the ingate where the metal was poured in at casting time. And a more popular metal is silver among the beginners. And that is the outcome of your first casting experience. You've learnt to use the equipment safely in a very non-threatening situation. Most people have come up against a microwave before. It's not a special microwave, and you don't need to understand anything about what goes on inside the magic bricks, which are the microfoundry system. They just get the metal molten. People who've come on the course have enjoyed it. We enjoy teaching it, and we hope to see you.